Welcome back. A high-stakes race for the next governor of Florida. After Ron DeSantis' 2 terms come to an end this November, gubernatorial candidate and former Florida House Speaker Paul Renner criticized the proposed constitutional amendment on property taxes, noting that they would require Senate approval and 60% voter approval in November. Joining me now is the man himself, Florida gubernatorial candidate and former House Speaker Paul Renner. Paul, thanks very much for being here. Welcome back. You said there's no excuse for failure on immediate property tax relief. Tell us more.
Well, Maria, people have been waiting for 2 years now as we've had a lot of debate in the House and Senate. But as we speak today, there is literally no plan to save $1. And so what I proposed is a 2-step process to temporarily roll back property taxes to give people that are leaving their homes a tax break while we work on elimination of property taxes, as has been called by the governor.
And why don't you assess what's going on in terms of property taxes? Because New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani is doing the opposite, floating a massive property tax increase on New Yorkers. He needs to close a $12 billion budget gap. He claims it's necessary if the state will not raise taxes on higher earners. This proposed $127 billion budget plan is for the city, and it's higher than the entire state of Florida. Paul, are you expecting the exodus to increase out of New York and into Florida?
Well, as governor, I won't be calling for people to come here. Frankly, I think if you voted for Mamdani, you ought to stay in New York City and live under his reign. But yes, the problem is not a revenue problem in New York. It's a spending problem. And a state like Florida proves that with a smaller budget and a much, much larger population.
I see. And what has been the impact of so many people moving out of New York and setting up shop in Florida, from business to individuals, Paul?
Well, it's been both a blessing and a curse. Obviously, we have more money flowing into the state of Florida than any other state. In fact, the next 9 states combined in terms of inflow, if you look at IRS data, but it does put a strain on our environment, on our roads, our bridges, et cetera. And so we're looking at making major investments to make sure that we can continue to have the great quality of life that we enjoy here in Florida.
Well, look, Byron Donalds, the congressman from Florida, is also running for governor. And how would you say your campaign differs from Congressman Byron Donalds?
Well, it's proven leadership. You know, I was part of building the free state of Florida. The governor said that my 2 years leading the Florida House were the most consequential conservative 2 years in Florida history. And on the other side, there's just no record of showing up to battle and winning things for people. But what there is a record of is making a lot of money in Congress. His net worth's gone up over 800% while he's on the Financial Services Committee, trading stocks that he oversees. That is not the kind of leadership we want in Florida. We want a proven, no-nonsense leader, and that's what I bring.
Well, I don't know if we have any evidence of any trading from Byron Donalds. He obviously is in a leadership position in the Financial Services Committee and other committees, and has been setting President Trump's agenda throughout Florida. Are you going to be looking at President Trump's agenda and trying to set that further in Florida?
Absolutely. Will be a great partner for President Trump. Thank God he got elected and we don't have Kamala Harris in the White House right now. And he's been doing great things there in Washington, D.C. But no, we'll be a great partner for President Trump, as Governor DeSantis has, and look to continue to extend Florida as the model for the rest of the country.
All right. We'll be watching. Certainly, it is a great model to watch. Paul, thanks so much. We'll be watching your campaign, certainly. Paul Renner joining us this morning on his campaign.